Thank you for staying with us on the AM show. Hello, I'm Gary Al Smith, and it's time for the sport. Yesterday, by this time, we were previewing what was to come in the 29th GFA Ordinary Congress in Kumasi. 24 hours later, time to review the most pertinent points from there. The president of the Ghana Football Association, Okraku, criticized his detractors for damaging the image of the sport at the Congress. Kurt, who a petition has been filed against last week at FIFA over alleged breaches of the organization's ethics code, said such conduct would do nothing in helping address challenges in the country. He, however, called on members to desist from such acts while calling for unity.
At the end of the day, all of us here feed on the same brand. The brand that supposedly has been destroyed. The brand that started a journey of being resurrected in the year 2019. It is the same brand that currently is attracting minimum 25 partners from the private sector. It's the same brand that has raised your emotions, your passions, and your desire, even to offer yourself to lead. It is the same brand. I have said here that I am not interested in destroying the brand that you offered me the chance to rebuild. If indeed you love Ghana football, you should be interested in building the brand and not to destroy the brand. Because in 2019, when we took office, this brand called Ghana football was badly damaged through acts that we are talking about.
So one of the key things he said, but let's take a look at the highlights of his speech as well. I mean, he was one of the focal points of the address, and so he mentioned that there's a plan to have a coordinating office in Accra to oversee the work of regional football associations. He said the FA will give 100,000 cedis for the purchase of footballs for all regional competitions. And the FA will provide pickups for regional FA chairpersons. The FA will contribute 300,000 cedis for payment of officiating at the regional level. He also mentioned the FA will invest 200,000 cedis for training of reps under the Catch Them Young initiative and 1,000 cedis for referees, managers at the regional level. The RFA chairman will get, each RFA chairman will get 4,000 cedis monthly, and the vice chair will get 1,500 monthly. That's the Regional Football Association chairman. There's a lot more he said, but you can find it on myjoyonline.com or across the various Joy News, Joy Sports socials on Facebook and Twitter. Moving on to somebody who wants to get to Okraku's job, former Vice President of the GFA, George Afriyie, has accused the incumbent, that's Kurt, of being political with his address yesterday at the Congress. Now, according to him, the FA president has not delivered on the promises of the last 4 years, but used this platform to magnify those he has done.
He said the promises. Na promises no. 4 years ago, this administration was ushered into office. Now, administration we ushered into office no. Yeah manifestos. Obia kan di obetimi aye. Na enima obetimi aye no, odi tuga. Min ko bebre so. I'll give you key points. Some of the things that were captured in Okraku's manifesto was to provide football boots to all Division 1, Premier and Women football. If you look at the manifesto, it's captured. In his last year as the FA president, and chair football boots. And let me make it clear, so the football boots are not a gift from Mr. Ketio Okraku's bottom. Puma, who is a major sponsor of the Ghana Football Association. Ono ena di boots na base yanchema class. Inti enye sebi ono ni bottom sika no di akoto. Inti di edikan that promise of providing boots for that 4-year period, it has only happened once. The it was a campaign promise. So in 4 years, Owinia Yabebo Autonomous Premier League. But the Autonomous Premier League, or the Autonomous League does not exist anywhere in the world. Enti yachira omo antiasie 4 years abewe ye Autonomous Premier League.
So George Afriyie essentially saying that Kurt has not done good on his promises, and he named two. Essentially, he started by saying that 4 years ago, Kurt promised to give football boots to every Division 1 and every Premier League club as well, and the Women's Premier League team, and said he would do that every year. However, he alleges that Kurt has done that only in his final year of office instead of doing that annually. And he says even then, those football boots that were given did not come from the pockets of the president of the GFA. Rather, they were a statutory obligation from a major sponsor of the GFA, that is Puma. And so Puma's statutory obligation is what Kurt used to give the boots to the clubs. And so clubs should be wiser for it. And then, he went on to give other examples of things he reckons Kurt has not done to live good on his promises as well. He, of course, that's George Afriyie, wants Kurt's job, and when the election comes around, it's likely that he will contest Kurt Okraku. Moving on, Minister for Youth and Sports Mustafa Usif charged the association at the same event to inculcate patriotism in the various players of the national team and help improve outcomes at the tournament. Now, speaking at the Congress, he bemoaned the attitude and performance of players during recent tournament, despite the state's heavy investment for same.
The management of our national team is a solemn responsibility entrusted to the Ghana Football Association. This trust comes with obligation to account to the people of Ghana for our stewardship. Transparency is in all transactions. Memorandums of understanding, sponsorship packages, agreements entered into both foreign and local is paramount. The national team will continue to receive support from the states, and it is our duty to ensure that all resources are fully accounted for, satisfying the expectation of Ghanaians, and it's also the responsibility of the players and the technical team to exhibit the spirit of nationalism and patriotism whenever they get the opportunity to represent our country. Mr. President, let me just add that in all the effort the FA is making to develop the grassroots football, let me hasten to add that we should include in our development process the spirit of nationalism and patriotism among our players. Because I find it very, very, very difficult to comprehend or understand that the states will make all the resources available by making sure that we want to give opportunity to our national team, get them flights for camping opportunity, accommodate them for a very long period during camping, feed them, give them even trial matches. Then when these players get to tournaments, instead of focusing on the tournaments, the focus is now on their bonuses and what, meanwhile they are being paid per diem to make sure that they focus on the tournaments. It is time for our juvenile and our national team players to value the flag that they represent, the flag of our country and the flag of our nation.
As the minister hinted, Ghana's performances in the last few tournaments, going back all the way to the last several years, have been very, very poor. as if he knew. Last night, there was another one. The country's under-20 side lost to Burkina Faso in their second game of the ongoing WAFU Zone B tournament in the Ivory Coast. Now, the side led by former Hearts of Oak coach Samuel Boadu went into the game needing a win after a 1-1 draw in their first game against Niger, but fell short, leaving their qualification in limbo. They play again on Thursday, July 13, against the host nation, La Côte d'Ivoire. Difficult times for Ghana's football national teams. However, some good news for an individual. Alexander Djiku, the Black Stars defender, has a new team. He signed for Turkish Super League club Fenerbahce on a 3-year deal. The 28-year-old centre-back has an option to extend for a further year after joining the Yellow Canaries on a free. Djiku departed the French Ligue 1 club Strasbourg following the expiration of his contract at the end of last season. Of course, Andre Ayew and Stephen Appiah have played for those sides, and so he will not be short of people to call upon for some tips and all that. Also, Greek side PAOK have announced the signing of Black Stars left back Baba Rahman, who also joins on a free. This is after he left Chelsea. And your short is the unveiling video. Baba Rahman is a Greek player. He played there, of course, last season in his final loan stint from Chelsea. Baba is back, that's why he says that. But his parent club, Chelsea themselves, have revealed their home kits for the upcoming season, but they have no front of shirt sponsor. A deal with telecommunications company 3 was not renewed when it expired at the end of last season. And this is what their new kit is like. You know, they say it's a 90s thing. They have gone retro, and for those of you who have followed Chelsea for a long time, you might recognize this color from, you know, the 90s and the design. They've gone back to the future. Kitted now by Nike, of course, and Wimbledon is ongoing. It's looking like Novak Djokovic, as predicted widely, will win this thing, but he's got to go after the quarterfinal, where he reached by completing victory over Poland's Hubert Hurkacz. Yesterday, I told you that they had to finish the match, which was suspended 2 days ago because of the curfew in that part of the UK. He's going for a record equaling 8th men's title, and he dropped the 3rd, but won 7-6, 7-6, and 6-4. That's it for the sport. As usual, head over to myjoyonline.com for the trending stories of the day until we come your way again at midday. I'll be here to let you know what has happened between now and then from around the world. I'm Gary Al Smith. Thank you for your time. AM Show continues.